When a breakup or a separation is communicated between two people, it severs their connection. It's been decided either by one of them or both that they're not a couple anymore, that they'll stop doing coupley things together, that they don't have a future any longer as a couple. However, that doesn't mean that both individuals will sever the emotional connection they feel towards their now ex in their own heart and mind. Hi everyone, and welcome to Becoming an Expert at Self-Leadership. I'm Maika, I'm a psychologist, and in this video I want to talk you through what to do with the emotional connection you may still feel towards your ex, even though you're technically broken up. A sense of emotional connection to someone doesn't go away from one day to the next, so even though your breakup or separation may have been communicated, it's natural for you to still feel some form of emotional connection to your ex, however big your difficulties may have been. This can be the case for all breakup circumstances, you being left, breaking it off, or both agreeing to separate. Your connection grew and built over the course of time, and it also needs time to deconstruct. However, it won't if you don't want it to. If you're not willing to let it dissolve, you'll keep holding on to it, and that prolongs your post-breakup pain. The way you may be holding on to the emotional connection to your ex is by blocking the reality of the breakup from sinking into your inner world, from becoming your personal reality. In your heart of hearts, you maintain that your ex is the only one for you, that it's meant to be, that it's just a phase, and that there's still so much hope for getting back together. You may dissect everything your ex said about the relationship, breakup, and future and find crumbs of hope in these statements like, well, he did say that. In the end, no one can know the future with certainty. Or, now that she started therapy, maybe it'll change the way she sees things. You may ruminate about what you should have done differently or what you can do now to reverse the breakup. You don't want to miss any opportunity of getting back together, even if it's infinitesimal, so you keep yourself ready, hoping, improving, and waiting for both of you to get back together. And for a while, this is natural. However, I'd like to invite you to consider the costs of this approach and for how long you're willing to pay these costs. The price you have to pay for remaining emotionally connected to your ex is that you're stuck in a situation that's neither here nor there. You're not with someone, but emotionally, you're not single either. You don't have someone to fulfill your emotional needs. At the same time, you're investing all of your emotional energy into an imaginary bond. You're not happy with where you are relationship-wise. At the same time, you're not moving someplace new either. Instead of letting go of the idea that your ex is the one and only for you, you're holding yourself in a place of idealizing a relationship you don't have. You remain stuck in loss and abandonment. And if you remain stuck for too long in a painful place, it may become your identity. To be able to continue holding on to a tiny fraction of hope, you're drastically increasing the amount and duration of your pain. And what I'd like to encourage you to do is to sharpen your awareness for the ratio of the benefit and costs. And to ask yourself, am I still willing to pay this steep price for nothing but hope? Does this still make sense to me? In a way, you not wanting to let go of hope quickly shows how much this person and relationship has meant and means to you. It shows how much you're capable of loving. The reason it's so hard to let go of the emotional connection to your former partner is because exactly of how much it has meant to you. And you'd rather stay in that place than face being separate from them. At the same time, I hope for the sake of your recovery that by consciously registering the emotional costs you're paying to be able to keep holding on to tiny bits of hope and an imagined bond that over the course of the next few weeks and months, this will encourage you more and more to at some point come to the decision, okay, that's enough. I've given this enough of a chance. I'm not willing to remain in this emotional imbalance of benefits and costs any longer. That's when you're ready to allow the reality of the breakup to enter your heart of hearts. When you do that, it does open you up to another wave of grief, but this time it'll be the last surge. Because when you've accepted this reality in your heart of hearts and moved through the grief this brings, you're truly processing your emotions. And at some point, your inner world will truly be done and ready for things to get better again. As long as you keep the door to your heart of hearts closed to the reality of the breakup, you're not really processing your emotions. You might wonder, but when is it ever okay to stop hoping? What if my ex keeps sending signals? I want to be thorough and absolutely certain. 2 thoughts. Number 1, ask yourself what may be the benefit for your ex of sending mixed signals or small signs of hope. Why may they be doing that? Often this is done out of attachment fears. On the one hand, knowing you can't be with someone or don't want to be. On the other hand, fearing being alone and wanting to keep your options open. Do you want to be someone's backup plan? Do you want to be someone's buffer for their attachment fears? Would that be fair to yourself? Your ex may also have other reasons for sending mixed signals, like not wanting to lose you as their friend, not wanting to hurt you too much, and thinking that they're being helpful by being ambiguous. They might worry that your separation will be hard to manage if your relationship turns really sour, especially if you have kids together or a joint household to untangle. Whatever the reason, it's likely that it's not because there's a solid amount of hope for a secure, lasting attachment with them. Thought number 2, absolute certainty is a myth. You may never, ever be absolutely certain. A small what if may always remain, and you may have to choose emotional healing over absolute certainty. And even if, at some point in the future, the person that broke it off in your relationship, or both of you decide that you want to give it another try, you're not taking away the chance to say yes then by choosing your mental health and healing now. It might seem like you'd rather keep yourself waiting and ready for that moment, but what if it never comes? And if it does come, is it actually a good idea to get back together? And the time you spend waiting for that moment will be a lot more painful if you remain emotionally attached to your ex and missing them, compared to if you spend it in the mindset of a separate single individual that's actively taking steps to build a happy life for themselves. In the case of breakups, it's very rare for that reality to change simply by resisting it. All that does is wear you down, and after a while, also your friends, who will lose their energy to repeat the same things. So allow yourself to move through the emotions that come up during and after a breakup. Allow the emotional connection to decrease. Allow your hope to decrease. All of that will happen naturally if you allow it to. Your inner world is very good at healing if you let it. Thanks for watching. I wish you all the best. Consider subscribing. Till next time, take care, and remember, you're better off accepting the reality of the breakup and allowing it to sink in your heart of hearts.